Thanks for joining us again, folks, on the channel. Today we're going to have a look at the menu system of the new DX5000 Plus by Capo. I know it's a problem for a lot of people to get into these menus and stuff, even though you get the manual with it, which is shown here. But a lot of people can't understand it, so I'm going to make this video hopefully to break it down a wee bit and go through each menu stage by stage, make it much easier. So it's pretty much similar to the previous clones, Anytones, Quad 5s, 6900, a couple of extra menus in this, which is pretty good actually. First of all, the buttons here have got a single function as well. So the Roger beep, if you look at the screen there you go, the Roger beep comes on, icon, which tells you the Roger beep's on. Just a single press, it's back off. Noise blanker, automatic noise limiter, well that's on already. Press it once, disables it. Dual watch, you go and choose a channel and press it again, and then that chooses a dual watch channel, and it flicks between every 2 seconds from the channel that you're on. Scan list. Now, I've not pressed this before, so it's not going to scan. It's going to scan. It's on the sideband, so I've got it to scan, and you can set it for time. We'll go through that. 5 seconds of inactivity, and it scans again. We will go through that. Press the scan again. The scan icon comes off. 10 plus 10's shift, so if I just press that, it goes up 10 kilohertz for your alphas. Press the top button and the long, right, so we'll go along with the top buttons first. This is SWR for this window, so press it once, and when you key up, it gives you your SWR reading on the screen. It disables it again, back to your SRF, but I've got it set in another menu just to keep showing the standing wave ratio. And then you've got the emergency channel 9 EMG you see there. So the second function of these buttons is when you press the function button, and it goes to the lower side of these switches, right? So press the function button, it's looking for you to do something, press Roger beep. But because it's a dual function button, we're on the beep now, the beep, which is very annoying. I don't use that. Let me get my hand out the way here. So every time you change a button, it beeps. So what we do with that one is keep it off. Horrible thing. Function, press that one, and it goes to the bottom of that, obviously, which is lock. So it'll just lock when you try and do anything. And to unlock it, it's good if you're driving and it's unlocked. Then function, and it goes to LCD off, so that should turn off the screen. There you go. Function again, back on with it. Scan list function, and I think that's the ones where you have saved channels in it to scan with. I don't have that. I don't really use scan function. High cut, so you can hear. You maybe hear what that's like at the moment, and when you press the high cut, it's the wee high cut filter. Back off again, you heard that there, I'm sure. And so the SWR one, this time it'll be the timeout timer, that's what TOT stands for, it's off. So you can set that up to 5 minutes or something in the menu, we'll go through that shortly. Timeout timer is on, so I generally keep it on. I've got it set for 3 minutes. And the last one, function SRF, it removes when you key up, it removes your signal meter and RF meter. Press it again, it's back on. And that lets you know your power output as well. So that's the basic functions of these buttons here. We've got a dual function. Top of them is just when you press the button alone, and the lower side of it there is when you press the function next. Easy. Right, let's move on to the menu now. So you've got the function button here, and when you give it a long press, about 3 seconds, it comes into a channelized menu, and that's number 1, as you see on the end here. So I'll just move the camera to the right a bit. There you go, so you can get the channel selector and tells you which menu you're in. So you long press the function again, and that's number 1 over there. Yep. So ICG it is. I kind of call it IC9, but it is technically ICG. Now this refers to the mic gain, and the values goes from off 0 to 63. Well, because I'm using the K-Pro power mic at the moment, I think mine's about 55, and you just use your channel dialer to up and down with that. If you leave it for another 3 seconds, it just goes back to normal operating menu. Or does it? It does, there you go. About 5 seconds, it returns to normal. So that's number 1 is mic gain. Long press that again, and we'll go to number 2, and that is this is the Vox sensitivity. Press it again. Press function again. Vox sensitivity. So I don't use Vox, so we'll not be bothered with that one. But that's Vox. Number 3 is this Vox delay. So this lets it knows when to kind of unkey when you stop talking. So again, I don't use that function. Don't know any people that do actually as well. So that's number 3. So we'll go to number 4. And this 1, 2, 3, 4 RCDT. Now this is your RX, CTS and DCS code, and it goes from 1 to 4. Now this is if you're on another radio the same. It's got RS, it's got the continuous squelch tones. You can talk on a frequency and choose the same tone, and technically you'll be kind of private from people won't hear you, just like your PMR sets. So that's number 4, and number 5 is another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the transmit, CTS and DCS, the same again. So if your 2 radios are the same and they're on like transmit of 1, then nobody will hear you if theirs is off. On to number 6, NC. This menu refers to a noise compander setting. Default is off. So see here, I'll turn it up, and we'll try and go to noise compander to see what difference we hear. I've not really used it. Doesn't seem to be much there. Let's put it onto AM just in case it's an AM thing. I think it might just be aye. When it's on AM, it's just another level of kind of compression. It just brings down all that noise, the hash. I don't know if you can hear that. On, off. So there's a definite sort of reduction there. There's an almost definite reduction in interference and received hash. So that was number 6. We'll go to number 7 now. Long pressing the function. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which is NG. And it's a noise gate, TX noise gate setting. Default is off. So I'm not sure what that is. I've not used it yet. I think it's this menu refers to RX noise. No, that's the next one. This menu refers to a transmission noise gate setting. So I think it's a kind of voice compression thing. Which there's no levels, it's just on or off basically. So I think that's your noise, your voice compression. Not heard anybody use it yet, just a new radio, so I've not heard much on it, but that's certainly a new feature as the noise gate one before it was. So let's go to number 8. Number 8. Long pressing the function again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just keep pressing it and it goes up the menu. Noise reduction. Noise gate, noise reduction. And you can clearly hear a difference there. That's it off. That's it on. So when you listen to AM, there's just the Super Bowl or something that's just a noise. It makes it much more pleasurable to listen to. So that's menu number 8. Let's go up another one. Press the function button again. And it's ICP. Well, this is your microphone. This menu refers to microphone type setting, which is, there's 2 settings of microphone. You see that one there was on dynamic, or you can change it to electric. That's a new feature of these new radios as well from the other ones. On to the next one, number 10 is NOG, and this is your monitor. Now the set is off. When you put it on, we'll go down to 30 odd. This is just a talkback.
Hello, 1 2 1 2 test hello.
So that's just a monitor. And
Hello, 1 2 1 2.
so it goes right down and off. Menu 10, NOG, monitor. Function again. CSU, this menu is a CW side volume, so we're not interested in CW. Number 12, this menu is to set the volume of prompt to 64 degrees grades in total. BEU, this menu is to set the volume of prompt. So I think again that is for CW. Let's just adjust this a tad. Well, it's on anyway, so I think that's a setting that's...
Hello.
That is a normal set. It's 31, it says default, so we'll keep it at that. It's not too loud, it isn't too low, so we'll just keep it as it is. Number 13, yes, number 13 we're on to now is your step. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Some tutor am. Back to 13. You always use your channel selector. 10, 100, 1. So this is your step. You kind of... I'll come back with the menu again. I don't really set that because when you press your clarifier and when you're on sideband, right? You press your clarifier and see your and it's back to the start here. So you can manually just do your steps. Let me get my hand out the way. You can manually just do that. Come up with the other one. And it just moves up the dial. And then back to the start again for your fine tuning. Bit of course. And your kilohertz. So that's what I kind of set my steps at. It's much easier. Obviously it's a channelized radio. If you're on sideband and you want to go to a 0, then it only ends in a 5. So I just use that. Keep it on that setting there and you can just go into zeros. Up or down 1. And I find it much easier just to use the steps like that. Number 14. Is your clarifier. I've got it set on receive and transmit. And I pressed the wrong button again. 14. Always use the channel selector. Receive and transmit selected. You can have it on transmit only. You can have it on receive only. Fine. And you can have it on receive and transmit again. The 3 settings for your clarifier. So as when you're, like before when you were clarifying there, I've got it set on receive and transmit. You can have it set just for your receive or just transmit. And the default is receive and transmit. So number 15 menu now. And it's push step. So this is the one that I showed you just there. It's the same. Course, step, and what's the T one it says here? T, push clarifier knob set to transmitting frequency. So it's just your clarifier again. Course, step, transmit. So I'll keep it on. The default is that one there, which is when this option is selected, push function will change frequency tuning step of clarifier knob. Press this key, then corresponding frequency would blink. So let's get my hand out of the way there. And that's what we just went through. You can have it from, as it says, we just go into that and then go into zeros. So what we're going next, auto squelch is next. Don't really use that. That's number 16. Auto squelch is off. That's the default. You can have it on, and when you come out, it should, because I've not got I don't have the microphone in with it, so for that function to work, you would have to have the original microphone with the auto squelch knob. Select a button on it. I don't really use auto squelch. Certainly not at home anyway. It's a pain in the rectum, so I'll just set that back again to off. Next one is timeout timer. So I've got it set to 180 seconds. I've done it again, like that. Such a fun. Anyway, number 17. Because I'm using my wrong hand. That's my excuse, and I am sticking to it. I'm using my wrong hand today because the camera's in my position. So timeout timer. I'm not sure how high it can go. 600 seconds. There you go. I've got it 180. That's long enough. Never had a problem with that so far. Next one up. Number 18, menu number 18 is to set your scan type. So you can have it on squelch. If there's a noise breaking the squelch, it will stay on. It will not skip and start scanning again. You can set it to time of 5 seconds, and then regardless if there's a transmission still happening there or not, it will just start scanning again. So squelch or time is your two options. I've got mine at time. The default is squelch. Sometimes if you have got it on scan and it's a bit of QRM, it just stays on, it doesn't go away. Whereas if you keep it on time, 5 seconds, it's gone. It's on to the next. It's on to the next stage of scanning. Number 19. Function in 3 seconds. 19. I'll try something in the next one here. I think we can maybe just go back one. So this one, TSR. You can have it on or off. This menu is to choose whether to enable transmitting SWR protection. So if it's on and you key up and it's over, you can set it in the menu actually on the computer to whatever value you want. You can have it set for an SWR maximum of 3. And if you key up the microphone and your radio detects an SWR over 3, it'll just beep. It'll not let you transmit, which is a good feature. It was on the other radios as well. So the default is on, and it's an SWR of 10 to 1. So it's best going in to the menu on the PC and reducing that down there just to save the radio a tad. If there is a problem with your antenna, you don't know about it. We'll press up again. I'm trying to go back one here. No, you can't. I thought I would maybe try and go back down the menus there, but you've got to go up, forward all the time. Number 20 is a TDC, which is on and off as well. That's your your DC power supply. If there's an anomaly with it, you key up, it's too much or too little. Same again, you'll just hear a solid tone, beep, and it will not let you transmit. It's a good safety feature actually, and in the old radios before I've had this, it works pretty well actually. It does work pretty well. Menu 21, TLD. So this menu is set to display on when the LCD is transmitting. You can have your SWR, you can have your battery voltage, timeout timer, and it counts down from what your total timeout timer is back to 0, so as you know when to unkey, and your transmitting frequency. So I generally keep it on SWR. That's what I was saying earlier there. So if you've got it on the timeout timer, for instance, right, and you key up the microphone, you'll see the seconds, your total, whatever you've got the seconds set at, and it'll just count down, and you'll know when you're coming to your 0. And it's quite a funky feature for the price you pay for these radios. They've got certainly feature packed. 21. I just keep mine on SWR. Okay. Next one is RBF, which is your Roger beep frequency. Now, I've got mine set to 18. I'll try and put another radio on here. Let's see if we can hear what my Roger beep is. We'll go to 385. We'll go to 285 on this. 285. We'll go to AM. Change that one to AM. And I just like a sharp. That's the volume's right down. That's how. I don't know if that's on. Right, so press the Roger beep button. That's active. Inactive. We'll press active. Beep. So it's just a short, sharp beep. Beep. Okay, now that was 22. Pretty pain you've got to go up forward all the time, you can't go back. Let's turn that volume down on another radio. 22. Now the Roger beep tone is, you can go higher. Let's try that again. Beep, longer. So that's just a no-no, that one. Too long. So I had it down to number 1 there, didn't I? Frequency is your high and low. I've got that at a 1, so it's just a short, sharp beep. Straight to the point. No messing about. No lingering big beep that's going to annoy somebody. Deep. Done. And the next one here is just your CW, which is 24. Not interested in the CW tone, side tone, or a transmitting frequency or whatever. We're not interested in that stuff. And that just takes you back to number 1. Numero uno. So it's just a short walk around of the new DX5000 Plus menu, just to help. A lot of people don't know how to use the menu system, and it's pretty straightforward. I mean, once you know what these, ICG and RCDT, it's pretty vague, right enough, but if you go through them a few times, play about, then it's fair enough. We also have, I wasn't planning on doing along the bottom here, but I'm sure I can go another couple of minutes of the video yet. That's your volume and squelch here. So your volume is the inner pot and the squelch is the outside pot, the big one. Right. This one here is your echo and tone. So I'll put it on both up to the middle. I've got to interfere, I'm too close to the radio.
Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, hello, hello.
So you can hear it.
Hello, 1, 2, hello, hello.
And when you move it up,
Hello, hello. Too much reverb. Hello, hello, hello.
So you can set it so it's just slightly reverb. It just sounds just nice, but generally it sounds crap. Your RF gain is that pot, and your RF power is that pot there. Mode selection, band selection there, ATF. On this particular one, it's programmed for CB right out the shop. So A is your UKFM, B is your super lows, low, mid, high, and then there's the kind of top end of high band and just into 28,300 into the 10 metre band there. And folks, that's pretty much that. Hopefully you've taken something from us. Go back and play it again, and use your radio as well, and use all these. These are the biggest bugbears for everybody. So hopefully you've learnt something from this radio here, this video on this newer radio. But you can use it with your 6900s and your old Anytones are pretty much the same, apart from the two new NCs and the NG and the NR. It's just extra menus in there, so it's just pretty much the same as it always has been. So good luck with your new radio. Maybe hear you on the air sometime, and we'll see you in the next video. This is 1642 Scotland.